Frostbound is one of the early games coming to the Daydream VR platform. It's a survival game in which you guide a small group of elk-like creatures through a frozen landscape to a cursed mountain. You start out commanding only one of the elk-like creatures. Let's call him the elk boss. He's pulling a sleigh behind him that carries all of the supplies with him that the elk party will need on the way up to the mountain. You click on the elk boss and then point towards a place where you want him to go. In order to get a better view of the action, you can change perspective by clicking on poles that appear on the roadside throughout your journey, and that would give you a different kind of angle of the playing field. On your way through the snowy landscape, you will meet more of your own kind, smaller in size but not less capable. They will bring their own capabilities to the mix, for example cooking food or building a resting place to sleep. You will need those capabilities because after a while your creatures will slow down and won't keep on making it through the snow because they are tired and hungry. The elk boss then has to set up camp and the elk cook has to start the barbecue. You have to put all of your elks around the fireplace and they will start to munch on what the elk cook has set up for them. Same goes for sleeping. The elk in charge of setting up the beds has to be instructed to do so for each of the beds, and the elks then have to be pointed into the bed direction to take a nap, so they will charge up on energy to get ready for the next few miles. On your way you will unfortunately not only find supplies but as well make acquaintance with demons who attack you at night. The game has a day and night cycle, so during the day your party of elks is safe. At night you have to be careful though. You can set up protection orbs around your camp that will automatically fire at demons, and you can also use your motion controller to shoot at demons getting too close to your elks. However, it is not easy to defend against those demons and your elks die fast. It's very frustrating to suddenly lose your cooking elk, for example, which actually means that you have to start again, but the game would not tell you that. It will just keep on running even if you don't have a chance to progress anymore. The game will only stop once the elk boss dies. Starting all over again is a very frustrating experience, and only those with lots of patience will be able to bear it, since Frostbound is an extremely slow game. Trekking through the snow in its nature is not the fastest thing to do, but having to set up camp, starting barbecue, taking care of beds for all your elks all the time only to have your elks brutally murdered by evil demons will definitely test your patience. Frostbound is a beautiful game. The developers have done a great job in this respect. The elks look cute, the snowy winter atmosphere is believable, and animations throughout the game are well drawn and fun to look at. You can have a closer look at your elks because they will set up perspective poles when they barbecue, for example. Overall, the developers have done everything right in terms of presentation and design. The developers claim that you could experience an immersive sense of scale and presence as you direct your expedition. For the sense of scale, that's definitely the case. In some instances, you are faced with giant demons that come run after you and that will look great in VR. For presence though, that is absolutely not the case. You are constantly changing perspectives by choosing the right viewing poles that would give you the best view over the action. That can become very disorienting because those poles set your perspective to totally different viewing angles. Some could put your view way above the landscape, while others could just hover above your elks. Also, those poles could be on any side of the elks, so sometimes you will completely lose your sense of direction simply because you have shifted your perspective way too often. This simply does not work. Comfort-wise, you won't have any problems in Frostbound because the camera does not move at all. However, the constant change of camera angles is very disorienting. Frostbound is a beautiful but flawed game. It suffers from its very slow pace and gameplay choices that would simply frustrate the player. You have to find out too many things on your own. It starts in the very beginning where you basically have no idea what you're doing, and it gets worse when you lose an elk, but the game simply goes on even you have no chance to finish the level without this elk. The constant change of camera angles is more than disorienting, and the fact that you have to constantly feed and put your elks to sleep is as repetitive as it could get, and it does not help that all of this looks beautiful. Imagine how fun it must be to guide a bunch of hungry and sleepy kindergarten kids through the wilderness. That's Frostbound, just with elks in VR. For the full written review of Frostbound and much more, go to daydreamdistrict.com. If you found this review helpful, please click on like, to let me know to keep on doing these reviews. And of course, click on subscribe to never miss any Daydream District video in the future.